I want to bring in Congressman Andy Biggs, Republican from Arizona. Congressman, you filed articles of impeachment against Secretary Mayorkas this week. On what grounds did you file to impeach?
Well, we have two pegs there, Stuart. First of all is violation of the Secure Fence Act, as well as violation of Title VIII. He's supposed to maintain operational control of the border. He's supposed to also detain people who are not admissible into the United States, and they're not detaining, they're moved to catch and release. He's made the border less secure. He's made the country less secure, and everything from drugs to human smuggling to sex trafficking. Also violating Title 42 and these willful violations. And he admitted that they're releasing people into the country when he testified before the Senate. He has no authority to do it. He is violating the law. He's violating his oath of office, and he's violating the Constitution. He's made America unsafe. And what you saw yesterday was, I consider, to be the dichotomy of this administration. He'll go back behind closed doors and tell the Border Patrol, oh, yeah, we support you. But he'll get out there and he'll start talking about, basically, we need to be compassionate. We've got a pandemic. This is a very complicated issue. It's not so complicated when you look at where we are from 40,000 apprehensions a year ago to 213,000 in July of this year.
It is a catastrophe. I don't think I'm exaggerating there. 18,000 unaccompanied minors in July alone. That's the first time I saw that number when Jonathan Hunt just reported. 18,000 children in 1 month at our border. 212,672 overall in the month of July. Now,
yeah, that's right,
if the only thing we can do about this is to impeach the Secretary Mayorkas, is that the only thing we can do?
Well, I'm sitting in the minority of the House. I can give you 6 things that he could do right now that would stop this and bring it under control, but he won't do them. I've said that, been saying this for months. He can go ahead and basically start building the fence again. He can impose Title 42. The reason that you're seeing 19,000 almost kids come in July, by the way, they released over 17,000 of those kids into the interior already. It's because they weakened Title 42. Under President Trump, Title 42 applied to anybody, and Title 42 is because of health concerns, because of the pandemic. You can stop people and just say, we're not going to allow you into the country. They said, if you're under age 8, we're going to let you in. So what do you think happens? You incentivize unaccompanied children to come through. You incentivize family units to come through. And that's what you see happening here. And those are the people that are being caught. They're the ones that are being released. So we still have 16,000 unaccompanied children in our custody today, but we released 17,000 into the country. If he would bring just Title 42 back into full implementation, that would deter. How about Remain in Mexico policy? How about the Northern Triangle states, amnesty agreements, asylum agreements? Put those back into place. And I tell you what, you would start bringing this border under control within weeks.
I'm in full agreement, Congressman, but I don't think they want to stop the flow. I think they want to encourage future Democrat voters. That's just my opinion. That's my opinion. Congressman Biggs, great stuff. Thanks for joining us, sir. We appreciate it very much so.